Hi everyone. Today we're going to be working on this kind of sampler quilt that I put on the frame. I just kind of came up with this little frame shape, and all I've done so far is I've quilted along the lines that I drew, which I just kind of arbitrarily chose to do it in about 6.5 inches from each side, and then I did an echo just to really kind of bound off the space for the filler. And I'll be doing a different filler in each of these spaces that I've kind of laid out. I've designated these areas, and today we are going to start with one of my favorite fillers, but also the one that as I quilted I kind of get really tired of it pretty quickly, so we're going to do it in this small area, and it's pebbles. And the secret to pebbles is to practice doodling as much as possible, like a nice round shape. And as you draw a circle and you kind of come back to where you began, the next circle needs to go in the opposite direction. And then you travel a little bit and start the next one, so that you're always changing the direction. And that is what is going to keep your pebbles nice and round. The other trick I have found to pebbles is to, if you want to do uneven pebbles, which is the style that I like the most, is to have a little reference sheet for the sizes of pebbles that you want to incorporate into your design. And this can be any size you want, and it can be as many different sizes as you want. But having that little reference off to the side will help you not start really tiny and end up doing big pebbles on the other side, or start with big pebbles and then by the time you get to the end you're doing these little tiny microscopic pebbles. So this is especially important if you're doing this all over a quilt, so that you're not always seeing kind of the start and the finish of what you're quilting. Like this little area, I think I'll probably be able to be pretty consistent. But if this was a giant quilt and I had done this row and then advanced the quilt a couple times, the last row of the quilt might be very different looking than the top. So I just sketch out a couple little sizes and I just set it off to the side, just so I have it there to kind of remind me of my goal. I just want to pause here and point out a few things. You'll see me travel around the pebbles and kind of through the already quilted areas to get to another side. And that's just so I can get little unquilted areas and kind of move back through. Some of these areas have been quilted over several times, and as you're quilting it, it may feel like it's a little bit messy, but if you use matching thread to your fabric, when you get a little distance and a little bit more area filled in, it will all blend together. Now I do want to say there are some unquilted areas, like there's this little spot right here and there's another little spot over here where the pebbles didn't quite touch the way they do in other areas like this. Like all these pebbles are kind of nicely hugging each other. But if the area is smaller than kind of my smallest pebbles, that I don't worry about it. I don't want to get into the habit of making these little tiny microscopic pebbles just to fill that area. Now, like right here, I'm going to add a pebble here because that's a fairly large area. But like this, I'm not going to go back and add a pebble in there because it would look really tight in there if I did. So feel free to go around your pebbles as many times as necessary to move around the area. And have fun with this. It's a all over that has like amazing texture. It can be a little boring to quilt, I'm not gonna lie, but it's a really good skill to learn how to quilt circular shapes. So I'm gonna finish up and share the results when it's all over. there are all of our pebbles. Now, as I was quilting this, and I'm sure you can see, like, some of these little areas are not exactly lining up, but the magic of using matching thread on fabric, really, I mean, from back here, these look really nice. I'm really happy with these. So use matching thread and it will make a world of difference in your pebbles. So have you tried pebbles? Do you like them? Do you get bored of them like I do, even though you love how they look? Let me know.